Alright guys, welcome back. Another episode of Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. At the last minute I got me a bunch of people coming over for the playoff games for football. Packer Cowboy game. Go Packer. Anyway, I had to throw something together real quick. So I got me a good deal on a brisket, folks. It's not fancy. I don't even know what grade it is. Grade A. Doesn't say if it's a choice. Doesn't say if it's a select. Definitely not a prime. I got it for 20 bucks, folks. So you can't beat that. We're going to make a pulled beef sandwiches out of this brisket. Yeah, you heard me right, folks. Pulled beef. Let me get this out of the wrapper. Alright. And I got me a garbage bag here, folks. Put all my fat trimmings in. I'm down here in my new filming studio. Got nothing up yet. I got a little bright light up here. It might be a little too bright, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, it's going to be a simple, fast cook, folks. I'll make pulled beef sandwiches out of a brisket. Hang on, I'll bring it down, folks. Alright, folks, we got it out of the wrapper. I got my trusty little handy towel here. Alright. Hang that up. We're just going to do a basic, simple trim. Remember, we're going to pull this into sandwiches. We're not going to make a, full-blown brisket video. Just clean it up the best you can. Easy, fast. You're going to pull it apart, so you don't have to worry about cutting slices or nothing. Now, I'm not going to save none of these trimmings today, folks. My freezer is full of trimmings. I have no more room for any more. I got plenty of sausage videos coming up. We're not going to worry about gouges or cuts or not a competition trim. Alright, got this fat thing here we're going to take off. A lot of the fat will pull off as we pulling the meat apart. You'll see that when we get to it. We will take off all this bad stuff on the side. Got my little work table here, I love it. Little stainless steel table with the wheels. I should lock her down though, folks. I'm going to take this off back here. We're not going to worry about making aerodynamic. Alright, folks. That looking pretty good. I'll say it's going to be a fast, simple cook. Just a lot of pulled beef. I could have used a chuck roast, but chuck roast ain't big enough. You want to get people to come over to your house for a barbecue, don't tell them you're cooking a chuck roast, folks. That's not how you get buddies to come over. Tell them you're smoking them up for brisket, they'll be flying in here with beer, folks. You tell them you're smoking up a chuck roast for a football game? Yeah, okay, we're going to go see what Joe's got going on at his house. That's how barbecue people roll. We're just going to trim this down just a little bit. Like that. You don't have to worry about getting it down to 1/4 of an inch. Like I said, a lot of it's going to be pulled off as we make the sandwiches, folks. As we pull the meat apart. We will take some of this off here. That. You don't have to worry about the, the pieces being burnt off or anything. Fast, simple. That. I got my little towel. I got plenty of soapy water down here, folks. We're gonna be cooking this fat side down on the pit or on the smoke fire. My pit boss Lexington is being busy right now with a pork belly video. Let's hit this up. I got 3 rubs here I'm trying to get rid of. I got this paprika killer hog barbecue rub that's pretty much flavorless, but it makes a good base coat. I don't know why people like it. I don't like it. It's pretty much paprika only. I'm going to go lightly with that, folks. You don't have to worry about getting too much because we're all going to pull it apart. We're going to hit it up with this tailgater from Suckle Busters. That's very good stuff right here. There we go. One thing about rubs, if you don't use them, they clump up. There's no anti-caking powder in this stuff. Alright, let's hit it with some more of this paprika back here from the killer hole. Alright. Now we're going to hit it with some of this 1836, which is very good on a brisket. No binder, it's wet now. Remember, this is going to be pulled beef, not slicing brisket type stuff. Alright. Okay, that looks pretty good. We ain't going to worry too much about bark, but fat side down, folks. A little more of this tailgater. Alright, there we go. Let's take this out, folks. Throw it on a smoke fire. It's gonna be an all day, all night. I'll probably bring you back tomorrow. We're just gonna let it go to smoke fire, untouched. We'll probably come back and look at it after about 6 hours. Alright, we're not gonna worry about bark or wrapping it. We're gonna run it all the way up to like 215 degrees. Alright, folks. See you outside at the smoke fire, folks. Alright, guys. Smoke fire is fired up. Today we're rocking the smoking pecan pellets. Gonna use them up. They're fat side down. Alright. No peeky for about 5 hours. Remember, we're just gonna pull this beef apart. We're not gonna slice it now, we're gonna pull it apart. We'll come back in 5 hours, check it, and I'm gonna put a pan of beef broth and onions and stuff in the bottom. It's gonna be pretty good, folks. See you in 5 hours, folks. Alright guys, at this point here, let's see what we look like. Woo, look at that brisket, bros. You can see what I'm seeing? That beautiful color, folks. Too bad we're gonna make this into pulled beef. That's amazing looking brisket. We're sitting at 153 degrees. Alright. Let me pull you back over here. We're going to put it in this pan. I got a lot of stuff going on here today, folks. Back you up a little bit. Got a little pan here on the table. Pull that probe out. We got one big onion that I cut up, put in the bottom. Set that right on there. And we got a bucket of this beef stock. I like beef stock better than beef broth myself, folks. It costs a little more. Get that all on here. Alright, this is going to be for pulled beef sandwiches. You don't have to worry about the bark. It's got a nice bark though, folks. Doesn't even wash off. Ooh, the smell right now is amazing, folks. That brisket is smelling outstanding. Big Packer cowboy game. Go Packers! Alright, just like that. We'll put it right back in there, nice and tight. You don't want no air, steam, or anything getting out. Except for that hole we're going to poke in with a probe. Alright, let's move you back over here. Don't get dizzy on me, folks. Put it back in here. Try to get that probe in the same spot. Not that important, but see if we get this lid shut. Alright. Uh-oh, my probe going to poke a hole in there. Maybe we'll just move her down. The bottom one. There we go. Then we'll put a little foil around that probe. At this point, you can probably take it in the house too and put it in the oven if you want. But what the heck? I got a pulled pork I gotta make on this cooker tomorrow. I got burned up with little pellets are in here. Alright, folks. Next time you see me, we'll be inside the house. Alright guys, there it is, the old brisket. Kind of ashamed to pull that apart, ain't it? Look how beautiful that is. Wow, I poured all juice sauce into here. Yeah. What you want to do is turn it over, save your foil. Now on the bottom here is going to be that fat. You want to get some of that fat off. You don't want to mix that in with your meat. You can take it off before you cook it, or you can leave it on and pull it off. But look how juicy that is underneath there. All that juice stayed into that brisket. We're just going to pull all the much fat off we get our hands on. Right down there in the point we have that fat. Pull that out. Get that out. Some of them onions. There we go. Yeah, most all that fat rendered. Left us with some nice beef here, folks. You just pull that apart. Nice and tender. Still a little warm. Then you can take this apart. You can chop it up. Because nobody wants to eat this long stringy beef like that, so shred it. Then put it onto your cutting board. And we're going to chop this up. And we're going to make some au jus sauce. And we're going to have some pulled beef sandwiches for the game. You ain't going to get this much meat off no little chuck roast, folks. The smell coming off of this right now is obscene. Look at that bark though, folks. Look at that smoke ring. Pecan pellets for the win. Beautiful smoke ring, folks. Now we just took this up to over 100 to 215 degrees or so. Rendered all the fat out as best we could. Just like that. You just pull it all apart. You get the idea. Then we're going to take a knife. We're going to take some of this meat, chop it up on the cutting board. Alright. I'll go get my cutting board. We'll be right back, folks. Alright, folks, got my cutting board. I say you just get a handful of that beef. If you want to leave it long and skinny, you can. But I like to put it all in little bite-sized pieces. Just like that. Just a rough chop. That when you bite into a sandwich, you're not pulling off big strings of meat. You know? A rough chop, just like that, folks. You get the idea. Chopped beef, pulled beef, whatever you want to call it. Alright, we just get a handful of that, put it on the left side of the tray. Grab yourself another handful. Just give it a rough chop. It's so juicy, folks. It is very juicy, very flavorful. So let's have a bite, folks. Let's take some of that bark off of that. Try that out, folks. Oh yeah, that's it right there, folks. That's money, folks. The words of T. Roy Cook, that's money. I like borrowing T. Roy's sayings. Alright, folks, you get the idea. And we'll be back in a minute. We'll build us up a sandwich. Alright guys, let's build us up some little sliders. I sent the kids to the store to get slider buns and they came back with a little Hawaiian roll. So we're gonna do her up. It all works out. You know how kids are these days. Hawaiian sliders, Hawaiian rolls. I guess it'll work. At 12 below zero, I'm not going back to the store. Look at this meat. It's so tender and juicy, folks. Yeah, folks. Woo. Man, that's good stuff. Pile it high, folks. Alright, we're going to get some of that Monterey Jack. You can use any cheese you like, folks. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I happen to like Monterey Jack. You know why it's called Monterey Jack? Because it was invented in Monterey, California. You know, almost all your cheeses are named after a place or by someone who invented it. Munster, Germany for Munster cheese. Stuff like that. Didn't know that? Pro tip for you, folks. Alright. Let's slap this back under the broiler for a few minutes, folks. Hang on. There you are, folks. All you gotta do now is Hit it with a little more of that jus. Don't want to soak it, but just a little bit. Slap these buns back on the top. Alright. Make sure that's not going to burn Scotty's finger. Woohoo! Slide it right off, maybe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice, beautiful, juicy bark here, folks. That's amazing. Oh. Where's my knife? Game starting soon. Try to cut these without making a mess. Get my arm out of the way. Need a cameraman one of these days. I'm gonna hire me one. And there you have it, folks. Little pulled beef sliders. A little Monterey Jack cheese on there. Let me bring you up. Oh yeah. Go have it again. Try it out, folks. Now you put whatever you want on your sandwiches. You can put pickled, horseradish, whatever you want on barbecue sauce. I got the au jus sauce I'll put in a bowl. I'm gonna dip it in there. Don't get any better than this, folks. Pulled beef made from a brisket. Way better than chuck roast, folks. Get your buddies coming to your house. Tell them you're making a brisket. Don't tell them you're making a chuck roast, folks. You're gonna go down to Joe's house. Joe's making brisket. Come to Scotty's house, you're gonna get brisket. Alright, thanks for watching, folks. Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. We're barbecuing the way of life, folks. Look at that.